There is something in your life you already know you need to face. A habit, a weakness, a truth, a conversation, a pattern, a standard you keep lowering. And the dangerous part is not that it exists. The dangerous part is that you keep ignoring it. Because what you ignore does not disappear. It grows in the dark. It gains influence in silence. It shapes your decisions when you are tired. It weakens your standards when no one is watching. It quietly becomes one of the strongest forces in your life. And one day you realize something brutal. The thing you kept avoiding never stayed small. It became your future.
In this video, I'm going to show you why ignored problems become controlling forces, why avoidance feels safe but always makes you weaker, and what Marcus Aurelius and Niccolò Machiavelli would both say about the cost of refusing reality. Because Marcus teaches inner rule, Machiavelli teaches reality without illusion. And both of them, in very different ways, would agree on this. If you refuse to see clearly, you will be ruled by what you will not face.
Now bring in Machiavelli. Machiavelli is powerful here because he strips away fantasy. The IEP summarizes one of his core ideas as the pursuit of the effectual truth. Not the imagination of things as we wish them to be, but the truth of how they actually operate. That is exactly what most people avoid in their own lives. They do not want the effectual truth about themselves. They want the flattering version, the softer version, the version with more excuses, the version where delay still looks harmless, the version where the habit is not that bad, the version where the draining relationship is complicated, the version where low discipline is just a phase. Machiavelli would say that is how you lose. Not because reality was hidden, because you chose illusion over usefulness, and illusion is always expensive. Here is the pattern. What you repeatedly refuse to confront eventually starts ruling your life. Ignore your lack of discipline and it starts controlling your confidence. Ignore weak boundaries and they start controlling your peace. Ignore emotional instability and it starts controlling your decisions. Ignore your environment and it starts controlling your standards. This is where Marcus and Machiavelli meet. Marcus says, govern the mind. Machiavelli says, see the truth. Because if you cannot see clearly, you cannot govern clearly. And if you do not govern what is inside you, something weaker will. Comfort, fear, habit, delay, distraction, emotional appetite. That is how people become servants to the very things they keep protecting. Marcus Aurelius says something sharp in Book 4. Remove the opinion, I have been harmed, and the harm is taken away. Now, that doesn't mean nothing bad happens. It means that your interpretation is often adding power to the thing itself. And a lot of avoidance begins there. You tell yourself, this truth is too painful. This confrontation is too hard. This habit is too powerful. This change is too uncomfortable. But often what is overwhelming you is not only the thing, it is the story you keep attaching to it. Marcus would tell you to cut through the drama and return to command. Name it clearly. Strip away the performance. Stop kneeling to your first emotional reaction. Because once you stop exaggerating what you fear, it becomes much harder for that fear to keep ruling you. Machiavelli's entire reputation comes from forcing people to look at power without decoration, not how they wish humans behaved, how they actually behave. Apply that to self-mastery. What is the effectual truth of your life right now? Not what you say you want, not what you post, not your potential, the truth. What pattern keeps winning? What excuse keeps surviving? What weakness do you keep feeding? What truth do you already know but keep postponing? That is the real structure of your life. Machiavelli would not be impressed by your intentions. He would look at outcomes, and outcomes tell the truth. This is why clarity is so threatening, because once you see the truth, the negotiation gets harder to maintain. Once you admit, this habit is making me weak. This environment is draining me. This person is destabilizing me. This delay is self-betrayal. This routine belongs to a smaller version of me. Now you have responsibility. That is why people stay foggy on purpose. Fog protects comfort. Clarity demands action. Marcus would tell you to return to principle. Machiavelli would tell you to stop lying to yourself about the structure of power. Together they would tell you, you are not trapped because reality is confusing. You are trapped because part of you still benefits from not seeing it clearly. Every day you avoid what must be faced, you strengthen it. You make it more normal, more familiar, more rooted, more structurally powerful in your life. That is how weakness becomes identity. Not through one collapse, through repeated permission. Marcus would say that tranquility comes from the good ordering of the mind. Machiavelli would say that usefulness begins where illusion ends. So if your mind is disordered and your reality is softened, your future will be built by whatever you refuse to confront. And that is the most dangerous thing of all. An ignored truth does not stay passive. It starts designing your life for you. So what do? First, identify the one thing you keep avoiding. Not 10 things, one thing. The one you thought about the moment this video began. Second, tell the truth about it. No decoration, no softer language, no moral performance, no confusion theater. Third, ask the Machiavellian question. What is the effectual truth here? What is this actually doing to my life? Fourth, ask the Marcus question. What judgment have I attached to this that keeps making it bigger than it is? And fifth, act. Not emotionally, structurally, with a standard, a consequence, a decision, a removal, a boundary, a replacement. Because until truth meets structure, nothing changes. So remember this. What you keep ignoring is not staying still. It is growing, influencing, shaping, weakening, controlling. Marcus Aurelius would tell you to govern the mind. Machiavelli would tell you to face the truth as it is. And if you put those together, the message is brutal and simple. Face reality. Order yourself. End the negotiation. Because the life you want will never be built by what you continue to avoid. It will be built the day you finally stop protecting what is weakening you. If this hit something real in you, subscribe. And in the comments, write this: I will not ignore what is weakening me.